My name is Rasco, and of the Rasco Disco Beer Show. Yes, I almost forgot who I am, what I do, and here or there. This is the live show. Disco sent me a WhatsApp saying he's ready to go. Here's so he said coming in soon. What have you got tonight? We have got, well, it's that time of year. Beer of the Year nominations. Hello, Kevin Parton, 07. I'll wave to you. Hello, all that's going to join us. Yes, that's right. We're going to go through our nomination list of beers of the year and breweries of the year. I'm going to update you. Some will be chopped off, some will not. We won't tell you who were the finalists, who's won this. This is not the Strictly Come Dancing final, but this is just the nominations list. The final shall be done on New Year's Day or Eve. Tell me what you will prefer. Hi to everyone. Hi to everyone watching the playback, and hi. It's good to be sociable. It's good to chat. It's good to have a beer and chat. I hope everyone's keeping well in times like these. Anyway, so what have I been up to? Satch, man. Did you like Spider-Man? Did you? I had to drop my boycott of Wetherspoons. I boycotted Wetherspoons some time ago because Tim was pissing me off, and I just thought, well, I've had enough of you, Tim. And I had a family function. Some of my family haven't seen my daughter in a while, so I had to go to Wetherspoons, and I saw, magazines like this, Does Truth Matter? I just thought, Tim, you're still a prick. Food was bland, beer was bland, and I won't go there unless I have a family function. That's how I feel about that. Anyway, working through, what have I got to drink tonight? Well, I'll tell you before Disco arrives, because he's late again. I've got this. It's by Loki and Imperial. It's got the Emperor Palpatine's face on it. Yes, Satch, it's got Emperor Palpatine's face on it. See? I know you'd like that. And Phil, I think you'd like that as well. Hi, Irish, hi. No, lads, he's not here, just me. I don't know, he's probably on the toilet or something, or I don't know, whatever he does. Hey, it's two different logos for your Irish craft beer. Oh. Anyway, it's called Toss a Coin to Your Witches. A chocolate Tonka raspberry imperial stout, Speyside barrel aged. So yeah, no problem, Irish craft. Yeah. So basically, my local Yarn Craft put up a message up on Facebook and in social media, and they said they had 3 of these. They got us 3 different types. I've got all 3. Yeah, I went and got 3. 30 minutes after the post, they only had 6 of them. That's right, they only had 6 of them, and I got 3 of them. There. Boom. Hello, Mark. Lovely show. Good to interact. Keep it going. You're doing fantastic. Hello, Bambak. Oh, Disco's here. Oh, God. Yeah, great. Well, it's just lad at the moment. Maybe I should just keep it down. I can mumble all day, all night, even. It's only an hour and a half show. Well, sort of. I have no friend requests as of yet. Should I invite someone on? Oh, aren't I? Waiting for disco. Da, da, da. Waiting for disco. Da, da, da. Ooh, I can hear.
Greetings. Fancy seeing you, Rasco.
Indeed, it's like we do a weekly show or something.
Yeah, exactly. I see you got your Christmas jumper all sorted. Lovely.
Practical jumper. I think even you'd like this as stocking, and I can do this. And I can walk around.
Well, as always, you can do what with it?
I can walk. Yeah, it's just like an extra pocket. Look, it's an extra pocket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Unfortunately for me, you're all pixelated on that one, but it looks good. You've got an extra pocket. Happy days. I too have worn my Christmas jumper. Even though I'm not that bothered about Christmas, I've worn my Christmas jumper for tonight.
You mean your everyday jumper?
No, it's my Christmas jumper.
Yeah,
As you
your
did.
everyday jumper.
No, it's my Christmas jumper. It depicts Santa Claus taking Mrs. Claus roughly from behind over the back of the sleigh, whilst the reindeers race through the North Pole in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
My blizzard jumper.
They are. Yeah, definitely.
It's blizzard.
Evening.
Well, you know.
Brambackle Room Brewery. Hello. Tell us, what do you do?
Hi, Rob.
Brew? Tell us what you brew. I don't think we've met. If we have, I apologise. And
No,
Irish
check
Craft
me out on
Beer.
YouTube. We subscribed to Brambackle Room Brewery a couple of weeks ago. He's new on YouTube. We're in from his kitchen. Some good stuff.
Nice.
Irish
glad
Craft
you
Beer.
know.
Hello.
Yeah, I
I'm on the ball.
already. Yeah, I can tell. Irish Craft Beer just cracked a roasted chestnut ale from Brewery in Dublin. It's so Christmassy and tasty. That is good to know, man. You know what? I hear bars are closing at 8 o'clock from now on, man. I wish you and all of your fellow beer mates well over there, and all your pubs, because you've got a fair few over in Ireland. Anyway, not the stereotype. Anyway, what have you got there, Disco?
Chestnut ale. Rasco?
Yeah.
Chocolate and chestnut. One of the ones from Perivale. That's a chocolate and chestnut stout, I think.
Mm. Oh, yes.
Love a bit of chestnut.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I got this as well this evening. I'm going to be drinking from St. Austell Brewery. Have you heard of them? Menadieu Stout, a bottle conditioned, complex, and flavoured at 4.5%. My main supplier of work sent me a whole box of these, so it's been a good year.
Wow. I've never seen that up here. I've often fancied some of that, but I've never seen that. It is the St. Austell one, isn't it? Did you say St. Austell?
That's right.
Yeah. I've not seen that up here. You can only get it at St. Austell in caseloads. So that's a good shout. That's meant to be really good.
I'll let you know in precisely 30 seconds.
Good man. Well, we love a bit of St. Austell.
We do. Even though I did slag them off on the GBBF, but they were playing disco music and no one else was. But that was just me being a ass. Irish Craft Beer, yep. Bars are closing 8. As I said before, man, I wish you well. I wish everyone and all your bars and breweries well over there. We won't be far behind you, by the way things are going here. But anyway, loving your non-advent calendar beer is brilliant. Thank you. It's not me, but thank you. I'm taking your credit.
Thank you, yeah. I've had a little bit of a break this week from that, unfortunately, an unenforced break. So I'm a little bit out of whack on the numbers. I think I'm up to 4-1 this afternoon, but I haven't been too well this week, Rasco. I was off the beers for 3 or 4 days after having the booster jab on Sunday. I had what felt like a 3-day hangover. I just felt proper groggy and like tired, really. Didn't fancy a beer. I did have a couple whilst playing Zoom darts on Wednesday night, and then I did one on Thursday. I didn't expect to review it. It was just an old random 500ml bottle I had at the back of the stash. I'd not forgotten about, but just never got around to. But it turned out to be really nice. So I put it on a review. I didn't do that as an advent calendar beer, but yeah, I'm not that bothered about Christmas. You can see decorations and all that in advent calendars. I've got far too much beer in calendars, but I do have a door, so I've gone with one door, 24 beers. And I've got to catch up over this weekend. I was going to today, but I wasn't feeling it today either. But when I got back here this evening, I switched on the YouTube and there was Mark chatting away. So I've basically been chatting to Mark, and I've been I was feeling pretty meh all afternoon. So big thanks to Mark, because I was chatting to him and I cracked a beer, did another advent calendar beer post whilst I was doing it, and it was a great pre-show, really, to be fair. I called us the unofficial after party to Mark's beer reviews. So cheers for that, Mark. Good stuff.
Well, I was actually on before you, so yes, I greeted him in official capacity. So thank you. And Mark says, haha, love that. He's not off his food, he's off his beers. Boom, boom. Haha. Mate, thanks for coming in. No problem. Thanks for coming back here. Onto the beer. Oh my God. Very roasty in aroma. There was a bit of carbonation was holding out. It was slightly tinted in rusty colour. It is gorgeous to smell. It is full of roast. And you drink it, It's kind of a roasty drink. It's not difficult. It's only 4.5%. It's not thick. It's not gloopy. It's actually a bit waterish. It's proper real ale territory. It will just go down very nicely. I like it. I like it a lot. A hell of a lot. I'm glad I've got a whole box for free. Hey.
Free beer does taste
So,
better. You have to mind when talking about it, but good old
Favorite Brown. Hello, how are you? I'll read some stuff on the back of this. If it's relevant or it's not relevant, I'm going to read it.
Cool.
Meaning Black Hills and Cornish Mendur. Oh, that's what it means. Mendur is a unique stout brewed with blend of 6 types of malts. Oh, 6 types of malts. It is flavoursome. Yes, it is. Deceptively light. Yes, it is. With an oak smoked aroma. Yeah, there is a bit of smoke. There is a bit of smoke in the background of it. Not hitting you, smacking you around the face or anything, but it's there. Beer conditioned, contains natural yeast, pours slowly, leaving the sediment inside. Ooh, I'm liking even more reading this. Don't usually read these things. Ingredients: water, barley, oats, hops, demi sugar, liqueurs, yeast. Yep, great. It's fantastic. I'm going to have more.
Jolly good. Superb. I've obviously cracked something much lighter. I like that colour on the camera. That's a hell of a yellow. Can you guess what it is, Rasco?
It's Turning Point something.
No, I don't be fooled by the glass, but it is Yorkshire.
Oh, strange that from you. Yorkshire. You don't usually get beers from there.
I popped it in because it is on my list. It's on my beer of the year list, so I'll do this one now whilst we talk about it. We'll come back to the list in a minute, but yeah, it's an old favourite from Brass Castle, Heretic.
Yes.
The Saffron and cracked black pepper Belgian Blonde. I've banged on about this all year. I've just got the peppery note across the lips. There's a big kind of Hefeweizen banana flavour going on to it. Not sure about the saffron, but there's a kind of savouriness in the background. I don't think this is going to work because of the label, but I was going on a mark earlier because I had a Brass Castle. I had Higgy Figgy earlier, nice Christmassy beer with figs and almonds. Don't know if you can see that, the Brass Castle logo.
Yeah,
and we turn up and down, and it's exactly the same. And there's just spilled a little bit in there, and it still says Brass Castle. Doesn't really work on Instagram, but when I flip it over on YouTube, if I do during the week, if I get around to that, still see the Brass Castle logo. Love a bit of that. All good fun.
Yes. And Mark's live in the comments. That's nice. I had a cracking APA, American Pale Ale, Turning Point this week. It was bloomin' lovely. Ooh.
Which one was that? Was that Become the Data? Or was that what was the other one? We had it, didn't we? We had it when they was on a show. And I can't remember it now. I know the ones you mean. Oh, yeah. Big Beat Manifesto. Was it that one? Was that an APA?
I don't know.
No, that's a Pale Ale. Could be Become the Data. There's so many beers, Rasco. I'm forgetting the beer names. How are you getting on with your list? Have you got?
I've updated it. I finally figured out. All week I've been trying to find that the name of that Pomona Island beer, and all I had to do was just go back through our show list, and there I had it tagged in beer of the year so far. When we go, yeah.
I'm glad you sent me that list, actually, because that brought a couple up that I'd forgotten about. Not forgotten about, but just hadn't got in my current list.
You've got what, 2 lists now?
No, I've refined it. I've got. Oh, hang on. Where are we going there with the sound?
No, I've got sound. Have you got sound?
I know, but my sound's reverberating across your sound somehow.
Oh, okay.
I'm repeating. No, that's better now. That's better. No, so I've got the one list. I've got the brewery. We are doing brewery of the year as well. Yeah, you've got that list.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Yeah, so Brewery of the Year. I've got my Beer of the Year. I'm on to 6 for my Beer of the Year. And then a bit of a spanner in the works earlier that I've got to think about, but we'll come on to that later. I've also got, obviously, I do it again this year, my Disco Beer of the Year, because I've done the Disco collection again. Been a little bit light for beers this year. Obviously, I had 20 on last year. Only what was it, 9 this year. But I have got a nomination for Beer of the Year called Disco. I'll do it as a separate list. Bit of a deliberation. One of them could have been in my Beer of the Year list as well, so I had to have a little solid think about it. But I've got a final list, almost. Which way do you want to do it, sir? Do you want to do your list first, or do you want to do Brewery of the Year list first, or shall I do my Disco Beer of the Year list? Get it out of the way.
Yes, please get out. We had a comment in from Brambrook. Had another of my key lime pre-pastry stouts at 3.5%. Really enjoyable. Ooh, it does sound nice. Yeah, good. Yeah,
I'm not a fan, but lemon and lime sours, because they're naturally sour anyway. I quite like that.
Got some eye on. I have to give some news first. 2 weeks ago, I had the Gibbler Tippler pastry stout, and I didn't really rate it. It was nice. I had it in can. I've now had it in tap, and it's a better drink. It's still not amazing. Right. A lot of the things that's promising, like rum, raisin, vanilla, and whatnot, isn't there. But it's very tasty, and it tastes a lot more better on tap. I had that over in the Art and Craft. I had a
Can I just pull you up on that one, Rasco? That Giddler's Tipple.
Yes.
That's not the name of the beer. That's the name of it was a cola, but that was the one, the panettone one, wasn't it? The chocolate panettone. Yeah.
Yes.
So Giddler's Tipple is the name of the brewery that's collabed. There's 2 breweries on there, and the name of the beer I think is Panettone.
Yes, it is, and yeah, it's a lot better. There you go. It was By the Horns was collabing with it as well.
That's the one. Yeah, By the Horns, Giddler's Tipple, Panettone. Yeah.
Yeah, on can it's good. On tap, better. There you go.
Where'd you have that?
Art and Craft, where I got the can from. I had Lieverick beer as well on the Art and
Craft. Oh.
Matthew's Yard in Croydon, a nice venue which I did a brief transmission from. He is cutting at back its hours, has lost 30% of its trade just because the people aren't going to work in the mornings. It has no cash reserve. It has no emergency fund appeals. So it's put up a crowdfunding link to just keep it to survive. It is a venue that supports artists and like-minded and non-like-minded people alike. It's done great work in where it's old venue. It's doing good work, and it could do more. I had a very good Oktoberfest there. So please look them up and offer your support. Offer any venue you can to support in the most safe way possible, please. And the next bit of news, a man I've been in touch with, I was meant to meet him, but we haven't been able to meet. We've always been busy, but we've been in touch. Is Gabs from What's in the Glass. He won an award 3 weeks ago for best communicator for his documentary series, which should, if you haven't watched, please watch. It's a great documentary. It's probably one of the best beer documentaries I've seen. Well, one of. Yeah. There. So check that out, and congratulations, Gabs. Am I going to rant? No, I don't need to rant. You know what I'm going to rant about. I'm not going to rant. Anyway, I'm going to change these headphones because they keep dropping out.
Okay, we're a little bit wobbly tonight. We've got a little bit of pixelation, as always. And now my voice is duplicated again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you take your headphones out. But I can hear my voice back 3 seconds later.
Well, I don't
That's
think
bad.
it's the headphones, mate.
Get over issues, mate.
No, it's not my headphones, mate. It's just Instagram. It's shit.
Yeah, of course it is. I tell you what, Ethan, look at the lacing on that glass, man. This beer is 2 months past its best before end. It's quality, mate, quality. There's a good question there coming, Rasco, from Bramall, Beetroot Brewery. If you could design a beer for New Year's Eve, what would it be? That's pretty on the spot, isn't it?
It has.
Yeah. You see, I don't know, New Year's Eve, like, well, apart from the last 2 years, I've always been out on the lash on New Year's Eve, so it's got to be something easy drinking and, like, neckable, I suppose, or is it something big to celebrate, like, 12 o'clock with, because that's the whole point of New Year's Eve, isn't it? I'm thinking big pastry stout.
How do you sound right now?
Sound is fine right now.
Yeah, I've turned my headphone off. That's bizarre. Instagram shit.
I disagree,
Anyway,
but
what would I do to? I don't know.
What beer?
It's only been 1 year. You've only missed one New Year's, by the way. You're about to miss the second.
I'm missing this one, yeah.
Yeah. I would have I don't know, something champagne-y like. Yeah, I don't really like it. Some kind of
suggesting Brute IPA.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Just as a one-off.
Everybody hates Brute IPA. It was going to be the next big thing. Champagne yeast.
Yeah,
Steve.
Steve.
Well, happy Saturday.
Indeed, Steve. Yeah, happy Saturday. Anyway, I don't know. All right, let's crack on with your disco beers, unless you've got some news and shout-outs.
I've got no news, no shout-outs, and I've done all my bits and bobs, I think. Let's get straight on with the nominations. So this is one I like to call Disco's Disco Beer of the Year. Having done the disco collection, I've got this strange preoccupation with finding beers with disco in the name. And people have got onto this now, and I've had several people shout me out beers they've seen with disco in the name. So if you see any beers with disco in the name, I'm happy to take shout outs. Raggy, good to see you. Thank you very much. Happy Saturday. So I do them all together. One I laughingly call Disco Day. I normally do one on my birthday in July and one just before Christmas. I've done 2 this year. I'm going to go, I've got quite a short list this year because I've only had like 8. So first up on my nominations for Disco's Disco Beer of the Year is this from Whiplash in Ireland, Disco Mystic. It's a double IPA, surprisingly, Rasco. And I'm not a big fan of double IPAs, but that was, I think it was because it was a little bit late. Do you know what I mean? It came out January of this year, but I didn't get it until like late summer. Picked it up it just randomly appeared on Beer 52. So you're meant to drink this sort of thing fresh, but it was a lovely pineapple, lovely juicy flavour. I was quite surprised by it, so that's why that one's in. The other one is another double IPA, Rasco, you'll be surprised to know. Disco Stars from Full Circle. Again, a double IPA, bit of a surprise, but again, it was nice and soft and pillowy, great pineapple and tropical flavours. Again, I was surprised by it, so this is why I'm putting it in the list. And my third one, my third nominations for Disco Beer of the Year, probably no surprise if you read my review of it, is the old Neon Raptor Vampire Disco. This one, absolutely, and it's a sour, by the way, so I've got 2 dippers and a sour in our nominations. That's probably the first time ever, certainly the first time a sour has walked into the Beer of the Year nominations. But this one just smashed me around the face with utter fruity sourness, but it was a beautiful sourness. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was both sweet and sour at the same time. Massive fruitiness. It was like big, it was like a can of Vimto or a can of Ribena. And then the sour came. And then the other flavours came. Oh, and by the way, it's got peanut butter in it. So a few seconds later, the peanut butter rocks up. So there's a peanut butter and jelly sour, and the aroma on it was an amazing peanut butter aroma. Almost still smell the peanuts on it, and it was such a wow factor that it just rocked, and I was so amazed that easily a contender for beer. As soon as I opened it and sipped the first beer, and the fruits wrapped me around my tonsils, I knew that was a contender, absolute contender. So that's me free. I could put this one in because it's here, Polly's Disco Infiltrator. I'm going to make it up with that because that was probably one of the best of the others. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to win, but I'm going to make it up as a foursome. Polly's Disco Infiltrator. It's a West Coast IPA, and it was a good beer. I'm getting into my West Coast IPAs, so that's my beer of the years with disco in there. My disco beer of the years. That's before. That's an easy little category to. I think you're probably going to be able to tell what I'm going to pick from that. But when are we doing it? When we doing the final show, Rasco? We haven't really worked out. It's some point next week, isn't it? Is it going to be after New Year's or before New Year's is? What have we decided?
We haven't decided. That's what we've decided. It'll either be New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. It won't go beyond that. I don't want to be doing the beer of the years of 2021 3 weeks into the New Year. I want it done.
We never agree. I think you should do it because even if I find a beer like that I've got in the stash and it's that good, I'm still going to put it in the mix. I've still got a week. Do you know what I mean? I like to do that year-end thing. So I like to do beer of the year first week of January, but I'm fairly easy. Raggy says Neon Raptor's in his beer of the year list. I wonder which one. We shall find out.
Well, the simple. Go ahead, Mersey.
I can't read the comment there, Vasco of Mersey Beers, but I know he's there.
Steve says, "Thought I'd pop in, say hello. Tomorrow I'll watch returns." And thanks, mate. Evening. And Mersey says, "I can barely read it because it's early tomorrow." All right, that's Steve. Neon Raptors for good evening. For Mrs. The Sex and the City spin-off, so broke out the big guns and out with Polly's tipper. Good for you, Mercies.
Good stuff.
Ryan's reviews. Evening Squire. Hello. Okay, so match of the day is kicking off. That means the easy thing for you, mate. If your beer's in the stash and you have it next year, it counts for a beer next year. My stash.
Yeah, but if I have one this week and it's that good and I've got more and I can get it, and here's a question for you. Like I know we said this last year, but what are you using as a metric for your beer of the year? Is it like something that's just grabbed you? Is it? Because a lot of people go, well, obviously, like it's a Verdant, or obviously it's like a this, that, and the other. But we don't necessarily work like that. I think one of the things we agree on is how to decide beer of the year, not necessarily what it is.
There are very limited rules with this. First of all, we've got to say this: like, there is just no way we can physically drink every single beer out there. Just financially, physically, and mentally, it is impossible. So this is just what we've come across, and we get tips from other people who do things like we do, and we appreciate that, and it's all great. For me, beer of the year is just, quite frankly, something that challenges me, my conception of beer. In terms of putting them up, I don't care. I put up a beer every year last week. You can't be putting up that late. Well, I will be like you. If the beer of the year, on the beer of the year show, and I have a beer which I think is worthy of being beer of the year, I will put it on the list while I'm doing the show. That's just the way we roll. There is very few rules.
Demonstrate how much I agree with that point, Rasco. My next beer is a contender beer of the year that we talked about on the last show, forgot about, then managed to get in last month, and I've not or whether it's going on the list or not. So we will prove that point almost live on the show in the next beer. So that's a very good point. I agree with you. It is. I don't say challenge. I understand what you say about a beer that challenges you. I don't find that for me it's just the oh wow moment when you taste the beer for the first time and it's that good and that different. But it doesn't have to be adjunct heavy or something crazy. It can just be like a really good IPA. But if it grabs you that much, I think we said on the show last time, I had on the last list just a standard session pale ale, but it was that good, So it is whatever grabs you, either challenges you or grabs you. That's the way we do it. It's not necessarily the trendiest or the most popular or whatever. Quick question there. Great question, actually. Adam Mersey Beers. What is everyone's Christmas dinner beer? What are you having on Christmas Day?
I don't tend to drink beer with food. I know it's a big popular thing. Like, speaking of which, Gabs, he does talks on beer and food pairings.
Yeah.
I'm not too keen. I like to actually try that and do it because I'm not too keen on having beer with food. A lager, maybe.
That's twice we've agreed in the space of like 2 sentences, Rasko. I find the same. Like I take beer and food a bit separately. So I will have a beer on Christmas Day, but not like with food. I'll probably just have like a fairly standard bitter or something. Like nothing, mad.
So something sessionable, honestly. If I do drink it, it'd probably be red wine. I mean, today, I had a meal with my parents. I'm feeling a bit rough as well because of my booster, and I don't know what's going on. And I think I'm still feeling fatigue from having COVID. I've had to look that up. But I had a hot toddy with my dinner.
Brandy?
So,
brandy or whiskey?
Whiskey.
Fair play. No, I don't mind.
Let us know. People in the comments. What's your Christmas dinner beer? So let us know what you know. Yeah. Anyway, let's crack on.
Yes, mate. Yes.
So, shall we do this? How many you got? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I haven't got that many, but I do find it difficult. I'm putting 4 on with a couple of, like, from when we did it in July. I've got a couple of additions, a couple I've dropped out, and a couple I'm not sure about. So I suppose, yes, 8. I suppose. So let's do your ones first.
Okay. Well, if you go all the way back to the end of January, I was on the dry January. I did a load of non-alcoholic beers. We had a game of just a minute. I won, and the bet was if I won, I wouldn't have to break my dry January. But I accidentally opened the can, and it was a shame not to drink it. Yes, so it was Pressure Drops. It's my pints party, I'll cry if I want to. It was a nice gloopy stout, and it being Pressure Drop did not deviate from its reputation of excellent. So it went down very well.
I think it'd be a beer drop in there from you, Rasko.
Yes. Oh, hang on. It's that big, large comment. Oh, flipping heck. Bambook, wow factor in beers that takes you back to a good memory. Oh, that's a good one.
Absolutely.
ESB being traditional and drinking at night in boxes and making you think about how beer used to taste in a good way. Hey, you should have some of this Menadieu. This is just like that. This year, comments from Mersey, this year is going to be a Fuller's Vintage Ale 2019. Good on you. Unless we got locked down, then we stay in for a cupboard until next Christmas. Oh, great. Sorry, lads, being out and about. got on 8-year-old to take care of. Yes, I understand.
No, 8-week-old. No problem, Mark. Fair play. No problem. We understand. We understand.
Yes.
If you haven't missed out, it will be up afterwards and on YouTube at some point next week. Hopefully Monday.
Hopefully. Next, this was a cheeky one because I brought it in 2020, but I consumed it in 2021. Mad Yank, your coconut. Mad Yank, your coconuts offend me. It's another imperial stout. It's very gorgeous. If I'm honest, Mad Yank Brewery were big supporters of, and it changed my entire conception of stouts. They don't have to be thick, they don't have to be gloopy, they can be actually quite watered down, but still rich in flavour and taste. This had everything. I would suggest this to the Beer O'Clock boys. This would be the best coconut beer you ever have, and I'll take that to the bank. And it's fantastic. I can't remember much else about it. Now, I will read out, I will mention some other beers which sort of made it, but they're gone. 2 beers from Anspach and Hobday is the Baltic Porter, which I adore, but it is just lacking Beer of the Year status, and I adore it. I regularly consume it.
Is it because it's so regular, or not? I don't want to say regular. I don't know if regular is the right word. It's so not running the mill, but it's so ubiquitous to you because it's your local brewery. It's a beer. It's their core beer, pretty much, isn't it? It'll always be available. Is that you just sort of forget how good it is? Not forget, but do you know what I mean? Is it just because it is a great beer? I agree with you on that. That's 3 times.
It's every time I've drunk it, I've got something new out of it. But I kind of expect that from a decent beer, if I'm honest. It is just short of wow factor. It was on the original list. It did get on nomination, but it didn't make the mid-year list. And I actually I nominated it. And if I'm forgetting I'm nominating it, there's something. It's just short, but I love it. There's a lot of beers I love, but I don't think are worthy of Beer of the Year. Another one by Anspach and Hobday, the American Brown. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really, really decent beer. But again, it's just short. It's got a bit of malt in it. It's got something different about it. I'm not too clued up on the American Browns. Yeah, just this came short. Do you want to go through a few of yours now, or do the rest of them?
No, let's do it separately because let's do your list and then I'll do my list. I don't know why. I just if you ask, do all yours, and then do yours. Do yours first because I've got various. Because my list is as complicated as yours is, I think.
Okay, then. Then next is Signcraft Haunted House. Barrel-aged Imperial, silly percentage. Absolutely smack-bang gorgeous. Fuck. And I've forgotten the right one down. But no, I've got that. That was absolutely gorgeous and what it did. But now I think of it, there was a kind of a lack of uniqueness factor to it. The Haunted House is a great beer to consume. They did a whole series of them, but I'm not sure about it. Now, the next one, the one I've forgotten to write down, is S43. At this point,
I'll agree with you about the American Brown. It says don't try a lot of them. Mark, check out Anspach and Hobday. down in London and Croydon. They just have a beer called the American Brown. I'm sure you know, Anticipation of Day, they don't mess about with beer names. They just call it what it is. So yeah, American Brown.
Yeah. Siren Haunted House. Yeah. Haunted House. Now let's just bring up some notes, which I don't have. Oh, come on. Battery on my laptop, don't fade now. Fuck. Yes, it is very bruisey. Whiskey. Dark chocolate. And there it is. And it is dark soaked fruit. And you really get all of that taste in it. It is fucking gorgeous.
Just on that American Brown note, from Bramwell Backroom Brewery, judging a home competition, and so because the comments are in white and I've got a fairly white jumper on, I think what Bramwell's saying is he judged the competition and the American Brown won.
Really?
Love an American Brown. Superb. Harry, thanks for popping in also as well.
Yes. Just some other information. The beer by Mad Yank, it is a collab beer with a hoppy place. And to give you some more, that's right, it's got marshmallow in it.
That's right, yeah.
Yes. And these are just notes I'm bringing up because it's bringing back memories of what it's got, because I have very poor shit notes myself. It has a very sweet, but it was just, it's how they do their beers. It's just so surprising and lovely.
So the Hoppy Place is a great little bar in Windsor that I've still not got around to getting to yet, but Dave there knows his stuff, and he's got some good stuff on tap and in the box shop.
Right, and here is some lead contenders from Pomona Island. Is Superman's Big Sister, which is a strong stout, and I nominated this when Craig Kent Beer Reviews was on the show. Pomona Island, and it's gorgeous. I had it twice just to be sure. Superman's Big Sister, and to be sure, what is it saying about that? Right, drank it big Imperial Mole Stout. What is a Mole Stout, by the way? I don't know.
No, it's sorry, say that again, Rasco. What is a what?
Imperial Mole Stout. Right,
yeah, I think it's mole. There's a thing over the years, mole. So it's a cake. Mole cake is like a chili and chocolate cake from the Caribbean, I believe, because of Siren's mole cake, Caribbean chocolate cake stout. That's the only reason I know.
Yeah.
Just what Rasco Adam there is saying about Pressure Drop having a brown ale. I think the one he's talking about is Minor Celebrity, and I did have to look it up because I know what he's talking about. And it's got on the can. The can reminds me, and I don't know if that's where they've taken. It's like old 70s kind of vibe on the can, and it looks like Trembling Madness's colours. And they've got a room in Trembling Madness that's painted in like orange and brown kind of squares. So yeah, Pressure Drop Minor Celebrity 4.7% brown ale.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on from that. The Big Sister is what it is gorgeous. However, I don't think it will win simply because there isn't but I tell you what, Pomona Island are something I won't kick out of bed easily because they've got another nomination.
Yeah, I could have put a couple of Pomona Island, because I had my first Pomona Island beers this year, and they were both called, so I could have put them in, but they were okay, and I'm sure other people would love them, but for me, they were just Pomona Island, really. I missed a lot of comments because I can't read them again on the white writing. I shouldn't wear white jumpers on on the stream, and very difficult. But I do note the comment. Mersey Beer says Disco is 105% correct. I don't know what about. I presume about the pressure drop one. So am I not 105.9% correct, Adam? Just to be really. Anyway, crack on, Master, to get through.
So another Pomona Island. No, don't rush the show. We got time. Don't rush the show.
Okay.
Don't rush. The next one is another Pomona Island, and it's called. This is the one I was been searching for. One Man Congo.
One Man Congo.
It's a sour. And it tastes, if you remember the drink, like on Bongo. It doesn't have all that sour flavoured stuff in beer I don't like. Because I find sours a bit like ciders. I'm not keen on ciders. And yeah, it was just gorgeous. And it challenged my conception of beer. There you go. It might have opened up a whole new universe of beers to me. So it was gorgeous. I'm trying to track it down. I might have tracked it down now, and there you go.
Okay, whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to answer. Bramall Brethren Brewery says, have you guys had any Cheshire Brewhouse brews? Beers? Yes, I have. I had quite a few last year. I got an order out of them last year because I really liked what they were doing. I love their social media presence. I haven't seen them so much this year. I don't know what they've done this year. They've sort of gone off the radar a little bit, but because I'm sitting in front of them now. But the two that always stood out for me, I have to say, they were great and I loved what they do. But apart from these two, I'm biased because they had disco in the name. I like the fact they bring back a lot of old kind of recipes, and they do some some kind of old British beers. But yeah, Disco Fruit Baby from Cheshire, loved a bit of that. Again, last year, my palate's changed. Tropical IPA, wasn't a big fan. But I am a big fan of this one. Again, only the name. Disco Big Boy. So that's always behind me because you can't always see it because I'm sitting in front of it now. So I used to sit over that side and you could see across there. So yeah, Cheshire Brewhouse, love the guy. Really big music fan, and I will visit at some point. So that's a great shout, Bramall. You know what I mean? Mark, did somebody say sour? Yes, we did. Surprisingly, Shokoroko. Sorry, Rasco, carry on. Pardon me for interrupting you. We have a question.
So, the next one is from S43.
Well,
yeah, and I have...
Say whoa, because you were slating them a little bit last year, were you not?
I was a bit critical of them.
Yeah.
In all honesty, because of their whole marketing gimmick, it was a play straight out of Brewdog. But you know, they do like
a little
Brewdog,
bit.
they can, they can actually pull off some good beer. S43 used to be called Sonnet 43. It used to be all cask producers. Now they don't do much cask at all, and they're all keg. They've got an American guy to brew their beer called Alex from Texas. And look, they do some good beers. I'll give them that. They've got this beer. The only way to pronounce it is DCLXVI.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a barrel-aged smoked Russian Imperial Stout at 12%, and it was gorgeous. The smokiness was there and highly present, and it was just a tad boozy, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. A shame I only had one.
Yeah.
I might get more of Trembling Madness.
This is what we were discussing earlier. We have this every year. If you've only had the beer once, can you put it on your beer of the year list? I mean, like you would buy a new one, but you know.
Yes, if it brings you to a state of bliss and happiness, why not? Yeah. And that's that. Right, here's one which I'm going to be honest, it's going to get kicked off. It's from Cloudwater. I had it in the Southampton Arms.
Just before you do, Rasco, sorry, Adam's got a comment on there about S43. I think you need to see. I've missed a lot of S43 recently, but Adam says, have you seen S43's new Quality Street? New Quality Street range? No, I haven't, because they've dropped on my radar a little bit. They are on the socials, but I don't see them on Instagram quite so much. I think that's the algorithm. What? Quality Street Stout. I thought that sounds good. That sounds up your street.
Yes. And what's this furthermore from Mark? I've really enjoyed S43 this year. The Outland ZIPA, NZO MPO was a highlight for me. Oh, that's good. Sorry for all the questions. Oh, that's all right. That's what we're here for. Have you had Marble Decadence beer? I think they are great.
I think you've had one. I'm not sure what the Decadence range is. Is that not the one you had last year? The ginger one. Is that in the Decadence range? I want Marble. I want to try Marble. We haven't had Marble since 2019 Great British Beer Festival. I think we had one of their beers. We were one of their pale ales, but I keep seeing them about. And no, we haven't. I don't think. I'm sure you've had a can of Marble last year. I think, Rasco. I think you had it on the show. I think it was either the ginger or the chocolate one, but I don't think it's the Decadence range. So Marble's another one that's kind of dropped off my radar because I spend far too much time on social media, so I see a lot of these beers, but they've sort of dropped off a little bit. But no, don't apologise for asking questions. Ask us whatever you like. We're pleased that somebody actually rocks up and pops in and asks questions, to be fair. And
yes,
thanks for everybody you had so far. Rasco, crack on, carry on, sir.
Yeah, it's good that you ask questions, or that way we're just speaking to each other.
We don't even like each other, let alone talking to each other.
No. I think Mark summed it up perfectly. You know, two guys who hate each other and love each other. There's no love here, man. It's just convenience. Anyway. So, Cloudwater, and stop rushing the show, by the way.
I'm not rushing the show. So, moving on.
Cloudwater, I'm going to speak really slow now. Cloudwater, and it's getting kicked off. I had it in the Southampton Arms, and you've got to think about the beer journey this year, because it's been a strange one. Because, it started out in the lockdowns, and then lockdown started to end, and it was largely keg. Cars started to resurface a bit more when more restrictions got lifted. And as restrictions got lifted, well, I've gone on a strange one of like, hang on, my keg taste is gone to being fully restored, and now on the verge of another lockdown where I don't know what the hell is going to happen with my taste buds, let alone the world. I had this in Southampton Arms. It was on keg, and I was going through pretty much everything like a kid in a sweet shop. It was very good. But it's not. I have to really teach myself. I had this. I mean, I did have it. I did enjoy it. I can't tell you much else about it. In fact, I'm not even sure why I put it up for beer of the year. And you bring an interesting point of, do you have to have it more than once? Well, it helps. My multi-dimensional approach, I can't even remember what it was. I'm having to Google it to find out what it was. And that shouldn't be what All right, here we go. Cloudwater Brew Co. Untapped. Rating. It's an Imperial double New England IPA. Yes, it was very hazy. It was very gorgeous. I'd like to have it again, so maybe it'll make next year's list. Who knows? But I'm sorry, it's going for now. On I go. Oh, and let me speak about this. Okay, that's good. The waterness flavour comes up a bit more, and then the malts go from the front seat to the back seat. It's very enjoyable. I'm going to have a good time drinking a case of these. It's not beer of the year territory, folks. It's highly enjoyable territory. But you couldn't session them because it's leaving too much of a bitter aftertaste in the back of your throat, and you just lose all your taste buds. And that bitterness flavour would just get larger and larger, and just be a bit uncomfortable. A little bit uncomfortable. You could session it if you really wanted to, but hey, up to you. I don't know.
In the meantime, there's a political discussion going on in the comments, Rasco, about the possibility of a lockdown and what that will do to cars, because we mentioned cars. I know is that if it's only a 2-week lockdown, it probably won't suffer that much. I mean, businesses will, but you can put cask on hiatus for a couple of weeks because it will just, if it keeps or whatever. But I have no idea about that. I've sort of stopped looking at all the current rules and regulations. If it is a 2-week lockdown, it won't affect me too much, but I know it will affect businesses and everybody going out and about. So
we don't know. Anyone, excuse me, I'm just finishing my pre-show cup of tea. Anyone who does claim to know is either chatting crap or got psychic powers.
I knew you was going to say that.
I can't imagine it being good. As I said at the beginning of the show, please support the venues you love in any way, safest way possible, because this time there is no furlough, there is no funds. There is only us out there to try and help them. So do your best. Moving on to this. You weren't around when I was talking about this. It's from Loki and Imperial.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Toss a coin to your witch. Chocolate Tonka Raspberry Imperial Stout. Speyside Barrel Age. Yeah. Art and Craft. I got this from the Art and Craft. They did 6 of them. There's 3 types. I've got all 3. Cool. They put a notice up on social media about this, and within 30 minutes, I went and brought 3 of the 6. And there you go.
Loki nearly went on my disco beer of the year list with Disco Demolition Derby. The only reason I couldn't, mostly because the bottle's over there somewhere and I couldn't show it, but also it was a big beer, but it's Loki for me, that sort of big beer that you buy once and you might not see again. Sorry, Mark. That's about Mark. Mark says the stream keeps sending him a request. It's not from me or Rasco. I don't know how that works. It pops up. No, a what request?
Well, what kind of request? Isn't to drop your trousers, because that definitely ain't from us.
We're not requesting anything. We're too busy chatting away and struggling to read comments to send any requests or anything like that. Again, Instagram and technology, innit?
There you go. I'm going to say one because I've seen Kerry Kent Beer. He's popped up. I hope he's still there. Here's one from the London Craft Beer Festival I consumed. It's from Weirdbeard. Hey!
Yay!
Impy Hippie Hater bourbon aged beer, and with cinnamon and stuff, and it's gorgeous. I recommended it to Craig. I said, Craig, you got to have that. He goes, yeah, it's good. It's not that good. But I've given it a Beer of the Year nomination. I was that blown away with it. And, when I went over and got it from them, they were happy to see me wearing my Ealing Beer Festival T-shirt, and I was happy to get cheered.
The Hope one that you had at the Hope.
What? No, I didn't have it at Hope. I had it. I've had something weird, Black Pearl Special or whatever it is. At the Hope. No. But you know, when I went to the Hope for the Dark Beer Festival, I couldn't taste a thing, so nothing was getting nominated. So I'm just trying to take the wax off this.
We had this discussion. We did the Mad Yank one with the wax on, didn't we?
Yes, that's right. And here's another one for you. We did this on the Czech beer night. It's called Catherine. It's a dark lager. I bought another one because I've managed to find one, and I'm fucking looking forward to drinking it. I'm surprised I haven't had it tonight, but I thought I wouldn't have one of the nominees tonight. Well, that one made things a bit easier. I brought it from Trembling Madness. Albert are a fantastic brewery. And I look forward. There is a story. Actually, I had about Catherine actually at the Czech embassy as well. There's a story behind the bottle with a lady on it. And I keep forgetting to look that up. So I'm going to look into that. What is going on in the comments? Evening, yeah, over 3 days was up against much beers. Thanks, Mersey. Oh, they're talking to you. And here I go. Come on, open your up. And the last beer I have. No, that is the last beer I have. That's it. Off you go.
Well, normally I'd throw open the comments at this point and say which one of those would you guys pick, but they're probably not anybody else's beer of the year, because we just do whatever we've had over the course of the year, what we've enjoyed. As Rasco says, what challenges in, what we've enjoyed, or the wow factor and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's the low-key one, isn't it, Rasco?
Loki and Imperial. It has, Emperor Palpatine's face on it.
I was telling you about Imperial Brewery as long ago as last year, and you should check it out. And now finally you have. They do one because they're from Raggy's area. They're up, like Nottinghamshire way, I believe, Derbyshire.
Yeah. I got told by Craft Pinup Girl.
Craft Beer Pinup.
I got. Yeah, sorry, it's not Craft Pinup Girl. It's Craft Pinup. When I met her at London Craft, and she was having some Imperial, and she told me where to get some, and I couldn't find it. Anyway, that's a shame. Well, it was a bit hectic. Had a few at that point. I'm just going to wash my glass out. A little taster.
Emperor. I do love what they come out with. I've not had it because they've got. Rasco, my voice is repeating again.
I know it is, because Instagram's crap.
No, I think it's your headphones.
How? How's it my headphones? Scientifically explain that.
I have no idea. Your headphones
It's not my
plugged in.
headphones, mate. It's not my headphones, because my headphones off.
Okay, so how are we going to deal with that? Well, turn your headphones on.
I'll tell you what. Let's get off Instagram.
Well, not right now. We're asking for a bloody phone.
Oh, watch me. Anyway,
It's going to make
I'm drinking
really difficult.
This is very pleasant, very yeasty, and very. You can almost smell the booze in the background. Oh my god! Oh, hang on. There was a beer on my list. It got nominated last week.
Oh, yeah.
Vocations Chili Beer. There's a beer that's challenged
completely. And changed everything for me in chili beer. It was so gorgeous to drink. Thank God I didn't forget about that one. And from beginning to middle to end, it was just fantastic. Unlike the other chili beers, which from the beginning they started out all right, but then lost it. It wasn't too chilly. It was the right amount of chocolate. It was just perfect. So that got a nomination because it challenged my conception. Like this. I won't nominate it now. There's not much carbonation on it. It's what is there is slightly tinted. It is very sweet. It is a tad boozy, a tad. Kind of citrusy flavour on it, but it's gorgeous. You wouldn't want more than one, and this is a game changer. This is, you have one to put you to sleep or one at the end of the night. Yeah, this is potent, and it's only 12%. Anyway, continue.
Well,
Before something else goes on.
Adam says, stop repeating yourself. It's the only way I can get a word in edgeways after Simon Brasco.
Well, if you had anything to say, you wouldn't have a problem.
Well, I tell you what, Rasco, you do the comment there for Monaco and Craft because I can't read it properly. I know it's all about Freshfields. Can you see that one?
Evening, guys. Rasco, I assume if arrive, I'll give you a heads up on Pressure Drop Stout. They've arrived at Freshfields this week. Ooh, I've not seen that. I haven't been by Freshfields for a while. Disco, stop repeating yourself. Oh, yeah. Imperial are the Cokeville in Leicestershire, but they think they contact brewing at a Bang Elephant at the moment. Nottingham, indeed.
Okay. No, there's not there.
And Imperial are incredible. See something with I'll buy it. Go for it. All right. Hello, Monaco and Craft. This is a Beer of the Year list. Thanks for helping me out this week. Check out what we've done so far. Okay, Disco, hit us up. You've got precisely, I'm going to give you until Gary Lineker finishes speech.
I thought we weren't in any rush, but no. Okay, I've got an easy going list. To be fair, first one on the list, I'm going to talk. Well, I've already said one. The first one on the beer list was the one I had earlier, Brass Castle Heretic, Saffron and Cracked Black Pepper Belgian Blonde, 6.4%. Absolutely lovely beer, banana flavours, savouriness, and a lovely black pepper sparkle. So we're doing that one. When we did this in July, we had a list, and thankfully you reminded me earlier this evening. So I had to go back and check. So there's a couple I've taken off that list. One of which is Brew York's. I had Karma Chameleon on the list because, again, free beer tastes good, but it was a really good kind of pale ale, 3.7%. It's an American pale ale, so it was lovely, it was like grapefruity hoppiness, but because I've got too many on the list, I'm actually dropping that one off the list. So it's a contender, but it's definitely not going to win, so there's no point. So I'm taking that one off. The other one I'm taking off that I had on the list, and Adam will like this because we've chatted about this before, but Beer Brothers Dunkelweizen, really enjoyed that, went back for that one, but there's other better Dunkelweizens about, so I've taken that one off the list. This one, I did say in that last show in July that I had this one some point during the year, but I was hoping to get hold of it again to check, because when I had it before, it was really good. This one is C84, and I did put this up recently. I got a really good deal on these from the brewery over Black Friday. It is, if I can get this right, it is their Black Forest Gateau Porter. 5.5%. I remember this being much stronger in flavours. This one now, it's a really good, really strong body on it. There's not so much on the chocolate and not so much on the cherry. So this one was a potential. I wanted to try. I thought I was going to try it earlier in the week to see if it was a nomination. This one is good, and I'm glad I've got a few cans of it. As you see, I cracked a couple into the pint glass just to check it out. But like what C84 are doing up in Yorkshire, probably again not a very trendy or well-known brewery necessarily, but it was a contender. I'm not sure I'm going to put it on the list at the moment. The definite contenders on my list are, and as you can see, sadly I keep a lot of cans, as you can tell, but Mccall's Brewery, Beet de Garde, and I know this is going to chime with you, Wesker, because you don't like beetroot, but this is a beetroot beer. I had it last year. It was a contender last year. They brought it out again this year in the spring. 7.1%, slightly up the ABV. Doesn't taste massively of beetroot. Like when you got a beetroot at the supermarket, you know, it's got, maybe you're used to like a vinegary taste on beetroot, but beetroot doesn't have a vinegary taste that's put in. But it was kind of fruity, kind of not nondescript, but it didn't really taste of beetroot, but it was really nice. I love what Mccall's do. More of that later. That's definitely one of the earliest contenders for beer of the year, along with Heretic. And the other two were, it's funny because that C84 is a Black Forest Gatto Porter. The other two contenders are also cherry and chocolate. I did say this back as early as January. Mad Dog Brewing in South Wales with their Black Forest pastry stout. It was literally, I was hoping it was going to be coming back out again, because again, I bought this one in December, had it in January. Was it earthy? Yeah, beetroot was a kind of earthy, there was like a kind of earthy hop flavour to it. It wasn't massively earthy, but it was more fruity than anything. This one was proper fruity. There was a big cherry flavour, a big pastry, kind of gatto cakey flavour to it. And again, I said this on the show in July. I knew this was going to be in the list still. Really, really enjoyed that. These guys nearly went out of business last year, but they got some investment this year and bought this one back. It was literally Black Forest Gatto. If you'd liquidized a Black Forest Gatto and added a shot of brandy or something, this was it. This was it. Then in the summer, this one blew my mind. Been banging on about Wild Weather all year. Cake batter swing, and again, this is one I found in the summer just because of the name when it was in. Do you remember we did that beer name World Cup that Adam from York reached? So I found it. I love the name. Bit mad. Then I got it in, and I didn't actually realise before I got in, but it's a dark cherry and vanilla black lager. Been getting into my lager a bit more, craft lagers a bit more this year. Again, this tasted like this, but this is a lager. It was thick, unctuous, robust, nicely sweet. Lord's Brewing is doing. Stick around, John. Yeah, it was a really, really nice beer, and to be fair, all the other beers I've had from Wild Weather have been absolutely top drawer. I've really enjoyed them. More about that later. That is my list. Funny that John should rock up, actually, because I was having this conversation not a couple of hours ago with Mark and Trilby Phil, who should have been in, but he's obviously too wankered. I've got this one, I'm not sure, right? Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say before I get onto that. there is this one, right? Blue Guru Wrecker from Staggeringly Good. That I had the other week. It was the first one in the non-Advent beer calendar, right? And that would probably get a nomination if it were not for the fact that I'd already had the Vampire Disco. That was almost the same, but slightly more flavoursome. And I nearly put that as a Beer of the Year nomination as well. I'm like, I want to, but I'm going to put that in the Disco Beer of the Year because it's sort of... I did actually go back and buy more of this from Trembling Madness. I was a bit drunk, and I thought, well, do you know what? I wanted to get some other stuff as well. So I've chucked some more of that. And I haven't had more than one of those. So those nearly got there. But that's in the Disco Beer of the Year.
Mersey Beers says...
Just wondering, because we did have a genuine question. I did have a genuine chat with Mark whether the Abandoned Car should be in my list, because Mark did remind me that I've got no porters in my list, of Beer of the Year list. So if I had another one of those, I would have been drinking it tonight to find out. So that may be a little surprise package for next week. But that is my Beer of the Year list. Rasco.
So, comments from Ramberg, love good Schwartz beer. Mersey's Beer's year hasn't changed since February. What is that? And hello, Brandon. There you go.
Brandon walks up just as I bring out a beer called the Abandoned Car. And here's my man, Brandon. A lot of people get that wrong. We put the R in. It is the Abandoned Car.
Brandbook says John is in the ESB for me. Yeah, he's a fan. It's in my 10 beers wow factor. There you go.
Yeah, I will get onto that in the new year, I hope.
There you go. Okay, all right. So you're going to... How many breweries have you got to nominate?
I have got one. I've got Brass Castle Heretic, Beat the Guard from Mccall's, Black Forest Mad Dog, Cake Batter Swing, Wild Weather, and I'm still deciding on that Brandon Car from York, from Lords. So 4, maybe 5.
4, maybe 5. You've got 2 weeks to decide.
I know.
So, all right. So there you go. So, I got to say, hasn't changed for me at all. My breweries of the year. It is still Pomona Island, because the consistency level I've had from them, because they were in my local fresh fields, has been amazing. And they've just, everything they've done, dippers, pale ales, even their pale ales is just so potent and taste. I want to go to Manchester just for them. Forget the others. Although there are a few things in Manchester I'd like to do, beer wise. Yeah. So, yeah, Pomona Island, and another one, Albert by Czech Brewery, because they're a little bit this and a little bit that. They're a little bit traditional Czech and they're a little bit something else. So I like the conceptions of them breaking down walls and doing other things. What the fuck was that sound? That sounded like something Fabio...
There was a motorbike going. Don't worry, it's gone now.
I thought we were in some kind of 90s rave there. There you go. It's just 2. And if another one can get on there, that'd be great. I'm not having fun with this.
Oh, okay. That's a surprise. That's a surprise that you've got only 2 in your list.
Yeah, well, in terms of breweries inspiring me, yeah, that's all I've got. And that's it. Okay,
so my brewery of the year is, like I say, I've got 4, maybe 5. Beer of the year is 4, maybe 5. Also, brewery of the year is 4. Have you not? I don't know. What else would you want to put in there, though? Oh, I tell you what, let me do my list, Vasco. My brewery of the year is going to come down to these 4, I think. The 5th one, I don't know if Raggy's still in. I was going to put Lincoln Green in, mostly because I have been aware of Lincoln Green for a while. I've been drinking their beer back in the day. We had a few at Great British Beer Festival, and for what they did for Raggy, got him up, done the beer, put his name on the beer. I think that was brilliant. Because I like to get it to 4, I've sort of bumped Lincoln Green out slightly, but I do love what they do. My big 4 are going to be, it's going to be Wild Weather, although I put them in the Beer of the Year list as well. I'm putting them in the Brewery of the Year list because every beer I had from them was great. They got one, Dude, Where's My Donut, is a great white stout. It's quite sweet. I do love sweet stouts, but it's a white stout, and white stouts are kind of funny. I'm never sure what they are. They're neither one thing or the other, but that's a pretty good white stout, to be fair. And because I like that one, and even their sours, like they arranged called Damn Dead something, like Damn Dead Cucumber. I want to try their Damn Dead Cherry, and there was a couple of others. So everything Wild Weather I've had has been brilliant, so I'm putting them in the Beer of the Year list. I am, without a doubt, putting Turning Point in the Beer of the Year list, because great beers, lot of they've got their core range. Disco King is obviously a big favourite, and they come out with this year they've come out with a lot of like regular releases. Gravedigger's Biscuits, I've got that in the stash, I've still got to try. And of course, obviously, we had them on the channel as well. We had them on the show. Cameron came on, had a great chat. We was chatting away for nearly a couple of hours. Not just about beer. He's really friendly, really funny guy. We're chatting about. Oh, hang on, Rascal. We're gone again.
I know.
What can you do? Yeah, Turning Point. I won a load of beers. They were great fun. There you go. I'm missing a load of comments, by the way, but let me just finish my brewery here. The other brewery I am genuinely putting in my Brewery of the Year, and hopefully still in the comments, I am putting Lord's Brewing in my Brewery of the Year list because not only they genuinely brought some great beers out, but because we've had a lot of interactions, because of what he does on the social media and his YouTube channel, I'm going to say, John, really friendly, really fun. We've really enjoyed when you came on our show. Really enjoyed that Saturday night. Again, not just chatting about beer, but chatting about cars and gaming, films, everything. It was really, really, really fun chat, and everything that John's done on his YouTube channel, just getting people involved, just having great chats and bringing out some good beers. Haven't quite got into the latest beers yet. Really want to check out the Jasper and the ESB. Sounds a lot of fun. So definitely a nomination for Brewery of the Year. The other one I want to put on Brewery of the Year list is Toast in London, because some fairly solid beers. I got their pack, finally got their pack of their collab range. Some fairly random stuff. Even this one, right? The lemongrass lager, 0.5%, but was actually a solid drink, to be fair. A mango IPA and the chocolate stout was quite good, but because of what Toast do, the whole like reusing surplus bread, so a lot of good stuff for the environment, and really into their COP. I've seen that COP range, a lot of collabs with 25 other breweries. It was 80 odd quid. I couldn't get it. My mate got hold of it. My mate's Brett, who does an indie choir in London. They all clubbed together and got him it. So I was happy to put in with that. And yeah, but Toast do a lot of good stuff in London. So yeah, literally, Mersey Beers, yeah, Toast of London.
Yes, so catch up with the comments. Pomona Island are near Brambook Brewery. Everyone is local. That's nice to know. Everyone else is chatting, getting along with each other. Is nice. John thanks us, and Toaster in London. Yes, there you go. Hang on to the Brewdog comment. And Wild Weather Collaborate Beer Fest at Brewdog was beer of collaboration fest for me. There you go. Brewdog got a nomination.
It's funny that Brewdog thing, because two of my brewery of the years, I know we have that uneasy talk about Brewdog, but two of the beers, both Turning Point and Wild Weather, did take part in the collab with Brewdog. I always point people to the fact that Brew York said the fact that they'd agreed the collab, and I think Turning Point were kind of in us as well, with the local bars, and they went to their local bar and said, is this okay? And the local bars were like, well, we're still brewing good beer and stuff. But that was before all the stuff about Brewdog came out. So I'm allowing it mostly because the beers were great from Turning Point. The beers are great from Wild Weather. So, and I know John from Lord's Brewing had that great discussion about whether they should supply their local opening Brewdog bar in Huddersfield. And they eventually said no. He eventually said, I can't do it. And it was a great discussion, and the way he led to that decision was fair enough.
I know, I was in on the discussion.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I'd say you say it's uneasy bringing up Brewdog. It's not uneasy. They're like pricks, and quite frankly, they acted like pricks. They got a nomination from me for Beer of the Year. I took it straight off. I had enough of them because they were acting like pricks. I've brought up many times they acted like a media hype PR company. Just doing all sorts of silliness just to get their faces on camera. And the fact is, the beer was sometimes lacking. The beer was sometimes good. And it was kind of like they would put out this whole thing, you love to hate us. I just found it tedious. There's only one person on the internet you love to hate.
The Turning Point collab with Brewdog I've actually got in the stash. They've done two with two different Brewdog bars. And I think one is a Dunkelweizen or is it Hefeweizen. And one's a wee heavy. And both beer styles that I love, so I got them in from Trebling Madness. I've only got the one can, but I'm looking forward to trying them. Whether I review them or not is another matter, you know.
Question from John, who's coming into Beer X on March then? What is Beer X? I might be there. Where is Beer X? But yeah, there's another question. Where is Beer X?
So that's my four, Rasco, for Brewery of the Year. Toast, Lord's Brewing, Turning Point, and Wild Weather. That's my four big.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The beer and breweries list of 2021. It will be closed out at the end or the first day of the next year.
Yeah.
Not going to hang about with this. I'll tell you what is not getting nominated is this.
That's unfortunate, really, to be fair.
It's giving me heartburn. It's got this the sweetness in it is just overriding everything. And it's not great. It's too much of it. That is a real shame. I hope the other two aren't like this.
Beer X, John says Beer X is run by Seba in Liverpool. Mate, there's so much stuff on the list for next year if we're finally allowed back out to do stuff. We should see.
We currently are, mate. We're about to lose it.
Well, we shall see next year. Who knows? 2020. I mean, predictions for 2022 are just like absolutely insane, aren't they? Who knows what's going to happen next year?
Yes, indeed.
2022, it's because nobody made nobody's predictions for 2020 came true because nobody had that sort of 2020 vision. And then 2021 really didn't. And now we've got 2022. We don't want 2020 again.
Question is, what is your beer style of the year or styles has shone on you?
Ooh, do you know what? That's not one we considered, but that's a great shout, Bramall. That's a great shout. I have been getting a bit more into my lagers this year, more so than any other year, specifically the German lagers, like I say, the Dunkelweizen I took off from Beer Brothers, and there's a few other Dunkelweizens about. Hefeweizens, more so this year. Lagers like a difficult, like, you know, there's so many different lagers, but probably more so this year. I've had more different variations of lager than anything else. I've got a little bit, I don't know about you, Rasco, I'm a little bit, as though I always say we go towards porters and stouts. But a lot of the stouts this year have been sort of a bit so-so. Like I say, to such an extent that I've got a pastry stout, right, up against a lager that tastes like a pastry stout in my beer of the year list. It's all gone a bit mental this year, you know. What would you say, Rasco? Do you have one style that stood out this year?
Well, I will answer that in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is connected. Right, when is Beerex? I think I have heard of this now. It's ringing a bell.
Yeah, it's basically like GBBF for SIBA, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's at the beginning of the year, isn't it? It's like February, March. March.
Yeah.
Okay, I might be there.
What your irons in the fire are, what your beer of the years are. I don't think I've seen you say yet, but that would be interesting.
Yeah. What? Hang on, everyone's talking now.
We had this discussion briefly earlier. Mark was saying Porter's has been his most enjoyable this year. I was going to put that to you, Rasco, because we had this discussion with Mark on his show on YouTube that he's most impressed with porters. We mostly go towards porters and stouts. Has porters been a big thing for you this year, and do you think it will next year?
Oh, inevitably, yes. Porters have. I mean, most of these I'm looking at are dark. I mean, the lager is even dark. It's very imperial, very barrel aged, dark stuff. I mean, I've taken off the Cloudwater, which is New England IPA, imperial. Maybe I should just put it back there. Even the Coconuts Offend Me is a dark imperial. It's the year of the imperial for me. But
Okay.
You've got a sour in there.
But then imperial is a really difficult category because I'm never sure about imperial. As far as I can tell, it just means over 7.4%.
Yes. I mean, there's two types. There's two types of story. The reason, the one by S43 is a Russian imperial, and the whole point of that is that when we used to ship beer over to Russia, we made it so high in percentage that it wouldn't freeze. That's the story. Apparently, there's a story contradicting that, and it's worth looking into. Actually, I think the Craft Beer Channel did do a video on that, and they gave a load of detail. Well, Johnny gave a load of detail on it.
But this is why I say we're not experts. We're just beer enthusiasts. We love to talk about beer. I love it when Adam's on the stream because he knows so much about beer and he can tell you those kind of details and stuff like that. Mersey beers. I love talking about the beers themselves rather than styles and facts and figures and stuff like that.
I don't. I like facts and figures.
Okay, Rasco, tell me some facts and figures. I'm just going to go and get the next beer because I'm nearly at the end and I forgot to get a third one. So bear with me. Keep chatting, Rasco.
Actually, there are no facts and figures. We are over at allotted time.
Get some comments in.
No, okay, my comment is this. I'm going to go soon. It's been lovely having you. thanks for joining our show, and we'll see you all soon. I'll just wait for Disco, and then I'll close the show out. It'd be quite funny for that. And we're saying comments. I don't even know where we are. It's very hard to see because I'm looking at the bottom and it's all blended in. Must be trade then, GBBF. I'm thinking on about GBBF. Will that happen this year? I bloody hope so. Hi, Mark, hello. We're all saying hello to each other. Hello, yes. Good, dodgy, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Controversial, but low ABV. Ooh, what we're on about there? I don't know. I've lost count. This year's some good table beers. Good table beers. Tell us what. All right. We're going to continue on for another 5 minutes. John Handful. I'm so sure, Mersey Beer, we were with them having a laugh about that. Okay. I have no idea what you're on about. Bambrook. Yeah, crack of a low ABV beers. A Northern Monk. Oh, stand. There you go. That's very nice. That you're all having a nice chat with each other. Oh, this. Oh man, this has actually made me sad and a bit disappointed. It's broken me. It's broken me. This. I had such high hopes of this. I've had it for over a month in my box, and I'm just not. Oh man, it's getting worse.
Oh, sorry, Rascal.
Same. Okay, well, I'm about to close the show now because we're over an hour and a half.
Okay.
Everyone's being friendly with the comments. Have you got another beer you want to talk about? Maybe make beer of the year.
Yeah.
Recommended Park Black. Oh, John Latch. Disco is 105% wrong. I know zero about beer. There you go, from Mersey. Thanks, mate. I'll make sure I do this year. Oh, recommending things. Matt, Coast, Tonka, Pale, and Bloody Gorgeous. Next year. Next year is not too far away, John. You can keep saying next year, but no, next year's. I can see next year from here. So there. Be careful what you say. What have you got? Are you drinking or are you snoozing?
Well, I could do another one, Rascal. I got one out just in case. I went Raptor. And
Oh, what a great beer.
I was going to do this one a review, but I never got around to it because I had last year's one just the week before this came out, and then I picked a couple of these up. I'm like, I've still left it, and I was going to do like a vague comparison like the week after, and I never did. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to carry on for a bit, or do you want to call it there?
I think we've set out what we want to set out.
We've done our runners and riders for the nomination, because I think we have to explain, like, we always find it really difficult. We have a massive list and getting it down to just one show. So we have to do the nominations and then we'll do the finals next week and a bit before the end of the year. And then send out the awards, Rasco. We definitely doing certificates this year.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
Good,
why
good.
not?
Good.
Yep. So Disco's told you why we do it. We do nominations, so and then the awards show. It's mostly because we're crap at creating content. We like to have content, so we have to spread it over 2 shows, just because we do 52, maybe 54 shows because we do a few bonus shows. Actually, we missed a few, so we do about 50 shows a year. So yeah, we run out of content, so that's why we do it.
It's in show 72. It's number 7, episode 72. So that's that's quite a bulk of content.
I know. It's made me go
What's
bald.
up? It's for 2022.
Anyway, cheers, fellas. Thank you, everyone, for joining in comments.
Absolutely.
This will be watchable over on Instagram. It will go on YouTube eventually. We will do another show before Christmas. I think we're going to do one on the 23rd, I think. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Because I've got a new SIM card on the phone, and it seems to be picking up the laptop, so should be able to get this up on Monday. So if you are watching this over on YouTube on Monday and you're still watching to this point, thank you very much. Like and subscribe and all that blah blah blah.
Lord's Beer, that's great.
that you're doing it as the people as a trade really need to pick up everyone. They're fed up. Yes, everyone is fed up, mate. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the likes throughout the year to everybody. Thanks for everybody who has been watching. At some point, see you on YouTube.
Yeah. You will.
I've got no more cheers here, but cheers to you. Merry festive times to you, Rasco. I don't do Christmas cards are out, but you know, just have a good one, and we'll see you online soon.
Indeed. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for all the loves and likes.
Cheers.